Hi guys, so this is my new car. I got it from Pasadena, California, drove it back to Chicago. Took me about a week to drive it back by myself. And it is a used Range Rover. I'm not going to say the mileage or the year because I recall there was there's some app like for your credit and stuff that they'll ask you what year something is, like a car, your most recent car purchase that you bought, something like that. And I was like, I remember seeing that, and I figured it's probably not a good idea for me to say anything personal about a major purchase. So headed over to my aunt's for Easter. I've already made it back from my long journey from Pasadena. And as far as the first issue with the car, I had to refill the diesel exhaust fluid. Because I drove it 2,000 miles the first week that I had it, I used up some of the exhaust fluid. And so that means that I had to go buy some from AutoZone, which was pretty cheap. It was like $20. And that should last me, from my calculations, about a year or more. And that's one thing you don't have to go into the dealership to do. I did have to go into the dealership to get them to take off the cap to the exhaust fluid tank because it was really tight. So, but they didn't charge me anything for that. It took them maybe 10 minutes to get it off because they had to get a tool to help get it off. But other than that, I haven't had any issues. I was gonna go into why I decided to go to Pasadena to get the car. The reason was because the equivalent cars here in Chicago were $7,000 and $8,000 more than the one in Pasadena. Now this one is a diesel engine, so maybe that had something to do with the pricing. But stuff in Chicago is always more, I think, and maybe it's because in California they have more. And I'm talking about with comparable miles and certified pre-owned. I wanted that, so it comes with a warranty. Then I purchased a warranty on top of that because it's a Range Rover. And all the Range Rover that I remember hearing about issues with, not all of them, but were new Range Rovers. I hear about as much issues with new ones as you do used ones. So that's why I decided to get a used one, because I figure I can get the one that I really want, which was the regular Range Rover. And then if I do have some issues, the warranty should take care of that. And I could run into the same issues with the new one, which I could not afford a new one. But a used one was okay, about in my wheelhouse. So I'm gonna just vlog whatever issues happen to occur while I have it. And because I don't need it every day to drive, I work from home. I won't be so inconvenienced if something happens and it has to be in the shop for however long, a little minute. But I want to talk about the journey to get the Range Rover. I was going to get a new Discovery, lease it, and I had been on the waiting list since November 2021. And every month your salesperson will come to you and say, you can order it this month or you can't. So we had gotten to March and we still weren't able to order it. Even if we had ordered it in March, I would not have gotten it until March, April, May, June, probably the end of July or August. Maybe I would have gotten it. Yeah, it would have been like August I would have got it. That whole time I had put down a deposit of $1,000. So they were just holding on to my $1,000 since last November to stay on the list. So I just told them, I'll get off the list and I'll just go find one and, I'll deal with it. Because 4 months wasn't so bad. 5 months, and then I was like, yeah, but then you got to put 3 on top of that. I may not even get a slot in April. So then that's why I started to look around and look at used ones and get one that was reasonably priced, because I understand that the price of used cars is more than it is usually. So that's why I got one that wasn't in Chicago, because I felt like those were exorbitantly priced, like way above market value. So that's why Pasadena was my it was the best choice for what I was going to deal with. I already had the week off of work. I had paid for a flight back in January to go to New York, so I used that credit to go to Pasadena. I did not want to ship it. I could have shipped it. I didn't want to ship it because it was going to be about $1,600. And then I would have never seen the car. I would have just got it. It would have been in Chicago, sight unseen. And oh, it's the police next to me. Just wait a minute. It would have been sight unseen, and I wouldn't have smelled the car. I don't know if somebody had smoked in it. I would have just been rolling the dice, right? But this way, I figure I've got the week off. I can at least see, what the car does and put it through its paces. Thanks. Somebody let me over. Put it through its paces, and if something goes wrong, every city I stopped in to spend the night, they had a Range Rover dealership, and I went through like 6 states. I went through California, Nevada, Arizona, Utah, Nebraska, Colorado, Iowa, and then Illinois. And I did that over 4 days. So I got there on a Tuesday. I left immediately after checking the car out, because they did a virtual test drive with me. So as soon as I did another test drive and just kicked the tires and everything, I took off. So I got back to Chicago on Friday at probably 11 a.m. And I had to work that night, so it wasn't so bad, and nothing happened on the way. My gas, I spent about $300. The hotels were about $300. So, and you can listen to the car as I go. It's a diesel, so it's a little louder than regular gas engines. So there weren't any issues. So I was very happy about that. And I'll just keep you guys updated on whatever issues, if there are other issues that I have with the car. And that's not really an issue, it's just a maintenance thing, with the diesel exhaust fluid. The gas for me is a little cheaper right now. As far as diesel, if diesel isn't as high in some places, and depending upon the what do you call it? The gas station. I have Gas Buddy. I have the Gas Buddy app. So I sometimes pay either regular prices or mid-level prices, like the same for gas. It's always cheaper for the most part than premium, which is what I had. I had a Lexus GX460 that I sold. It was a 2021. I sold it in 2021. I made about $8,000 to $9,000 on that car. So then I just used that money for down payment on this one, and went on by my business in that way. So that little beep tells you that you're on the street with a camera, red light camera, or speed enforced camera. So it just kind of warns you. It just beeps and tells you that. So what is it I want to talk about? Why I got it, if there are any issues, what the vlog's gonna be about. Hopefully I won't be doing many updates, because I don't want there to be issues, obviously. Yeah, I'm on another street with the speed camera. So anyway, I'll update you guys. Hopefully there isn't any issue. And just a little tour of the car. I will not say what year and the miles of it, because I realized, and I got a dash cam too, you can see, and it's front and the back. You can't really see the back one, but yeah, I had it in my other car, so I just switched it over. The reason I'm not saying the miles and the years, because there are some apps that ask you what miles and year of your car that your most recent purchase, as a way of verifying who you are. And so I thought about that, and I said I don't want to put that on the internet. But just know it's obviously not the most recent 2022 Range Rover. It's the generation before that one. So yeah, if you got some questions, let me know. I will keep up with the maintenance costs as long as or intermittent fixes that I have to do if there are some. And yeah, other than that, I'm good to go. And let me know if you got some questions, guys. All right, have a good Easter.